Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast, all the stuff we didn't get to during the course of the show today. Do you remember when we were watching TV during the show? We always have like a Good Morning America on and stuff like that. We can kind of see what's going on in the world while we're doing the show in case something comes up. And there was a girl that you guys were talking about. She looked like a young actress. You're like, oh, I wonder what her deal is. And you couldn't really place her. I know who that is now.
The brown-haired girl?
Yeah. With
short-cut?
Yeah, short-cut hair,
Yes.
yeah. That is former child star Allison Stoner, okay? Mm-hmm. And so she was in Camp Rock, and she was...
Camp Rock.
The first place you saw her was the little white girl dancing in that Missy Elliott Work It video.
Oh.
Like when she was 8, and like that was her.
Huh.
I think she might voice a character on Phineas and Ferb, too.
Oh, that's possible. I think you're right. I think she
she's
does.
Izzy or whatever.
Yeah, I think you're right. She also was in... what was it? There was another movie she was in.
Think of it.
Oh, Cheaper by the Dozen.
Yes.
She was in that. So anyway, she is writing a book about being young in Hollywood and that the industry needs to change. And it's like Stoner who uses, this was the article, Stoner who uses they, them pronouns sat down with Good Morning America. I'm like, oh, well, yeah, Hollywood did mess her up. There you go. There's your evidence. You can actually speak to this as an authority now. And so she wants legislation to protect young kids' finances, which I think is really smart because what happens is these kids, they get into this business. You get a momager or a dadager, your mom or dad starts being your manager or starts taking money off of this, and then they're your parent, and so they're pushing you to do things, and then you're providing for the whole family in essence, and that's a big burden for these little kids, and they have no idea what's going on at that age. She said when she was 8 years old, she said, I had just about to turn 9, and my childhood was over. By the time I was 9, I was no longer in school. I was no longer able to connect with my friends. Financially, I was taking on the pressures to provide for my entire family. But this machine, I felt responsible to just keep my career going. I wasn't prepared for what was walking outside and suddenly having the world have access to me. Yeah, because when you're a celebrity, that's it. I do think that they really need to figure out ways to protect kids. Like they have all these rules for kids on set. You can only work X amount of hours. You have to have this. You have to have a tutor. They have all these rules that apply to that. But it seems like in the offset stuff, it's just fair. Like whoever is managing them and things like that, it doesn't feel like there's a set of rules to protect them from predatory managers, or family members.
Yeah, I think that it's smart in that, I forget her name. She was in Dawson's Creek.
I know you're talking about.
I can picture.
The blonde girl.
Yeah.
Anyway, her and Leanne Rimes, which is a country artist, they both got separated from, divorced their parents after really bad managing situations. So in essence, I think if you hire a manager outside of the family, you're saving your family.
Yeah,
relationship.
She was talking about how, when you turn 18, you should have control over your finances and stuff like that. And the weird thing is at 18, I would argue that it should have some sort of review or something. Because at 18, you're not ready to make big decisions either. If all of a sudden you have access to millions of dollars at 18, you're going to probably make bad decisions.
Yeah.
And blow through a bunch of your money. And so that it's just that having that support group, a good, healthy support group around you for these kids, it feels vital. Because you watch these kids, it's a tragic tale that gets told time and time and time again, yet nothing changes from it. And the amount of kids that are affected adversely by it far outweigh the amount of kids that come out unscathed. Because what you're asking kids to do is be adults. But you're still doing kids programming and stuff, but they are controlled and they're completely around adults from the time that they're 7, 8 years old, and that's their life. And they do well, usually most of them, at relating to adults. Sometimes they relate to adults better than kids, but then they get lost in that and they don't get that chance to grow up and be a kid. There's something wonderful about being a kid. Like the work stuff, you're going to have the rest of your life to do that. But in Hollywood, you have to strike while the iron's hot. And, and for kids, they want to aspire to this, but no one who becomes famous is fully prepared for what happens when you become famous, because it gets really muddy, really murky. And the thing that you thought was going to make you the happiest ends up becoming the prison that you get trapped in. And so, I think that this is great. Like, this lady works as a mental health advocate and working for change in the business for kids. And I think that's great. She learned something from it, adversely affected by it, and was like, you know what, I'm going to do something to change this and make it better for other people. I don't think she's acting much anymore.
I haven't seen her in anything.
Yeah, I haven't either. So it'd be interesting if this is what she's doing and had a different calling kind of on her life to go do something completely different. I'm always amazed by the kids that did have a little bit of success, but then walked away. And it's like, did you walk away because you weren't getting any roles and you weren't that cute kid anymore? Or did you walk away because you found fulfillment in something else? Who was that one guy? He's a veterinarian now.
Oh, I don't know. I know the girl from Good Luck Charlie, though.
Mendler?
Bridget Mendler?
Bridget Mendler,
where
yeah.
she did that, successful, had a good time there, but then she went to like college, and right now she works, I think, in the space industry or something. Like, she's doing so much beyond just that season of life where she acted.
Mayim Bialik from Big Bang Theory,
yes,
is like a physicist or something.
She
too.
was, and then she did this, and is now.
Yeah, and I think she's still hosting Jeopardy like part time. Like, she and Ken Jennings.
I don't know how you do all that. It just feels like a lot.
I know. Yeah, none of us want to work that hard. That's why we got into radio. Man, you know what? If I could sell tickets to this show to watch the show, so I wouldn't have to work as hard, I would do that. There's a new trend of people that are selling tickets to weddings. It is the weirdest thing, dude. It is the weirdest thing. Betty has a story on this, and I'll kind of fill in the gaps with a story that I had seen about this as well.
So the average wedding cost about $33,000, and that's about $284 per guest.
Whoa.
Incredibly ridiculous. But there is a new app. It's called Invitin, Invitin. Okay, it's kind of like inviting, but without the G. Mm-hmm. So what they do is they will help the bride and the groom sell tickets for their very own wedding to strangers.
So ugly.
Strangers?
Yes.
Strangers, yes.
Whoa.
And they can figure out how much they want to charge for the tickets, because if it's at a really nice place, you might get higher ticket cost. Typically, they run around $100 to $200. But if a bride and a groom decide that this is something they want to do, they typically do it to help them offset the cost of the wedding. There are a couple of things that they can do to keep from getting those unruly people. First, the bride and groom will be able to approve the sales. So they'll look at the profiles of prospective guest.
This is adding more work.
Yeah. They'll also, the strangers that want to buy tickets to these strangers' weddings, they'll have to agree to rules like dress code and sharing photos. Like, if you share a photo of a bride and she doesn't want that just yet, then you have to be careful.
I had to have those conversations with my daughter because I was taking a bunch of pictures of stuff while we were at her wedding. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, well, let me know when you post so then I can post this because I don't want to upset you and stuff.
Also, the wedding planner, he or she will get in touch with these strangers that have bought tickets and get with them on where they will be seating. Also, if they have any dietary restrictions so that no one, I guess, is sued. The wedding photographer will also be told who is a stranger that the bride and the groom do not know, so that there won't be a bunch of photos with these guys in it, and you don't want to pay for that. Now, I asked ChatGPT,
of course,
why in the world would anyone want to buy tickets to someone else's wedding?
I don't want to go to. I don't want to go to somebody I know's wedding.
Right. Well, the best reasons it could give me were two of them. The first one was they want to be a part of a joyful celebration rather than just observing. And another reason is those with small families don't get invited often to weddings.
Weddings are a pain. They are a giant pain. The food usually isn't that great. It's just annoying. And then to have to sit there through all of that and to pay to do it for people you don't even know, this is unfathomable to me.
The only thing I can think of that ChatGPT didn't say this, but this is the only thing I can think of. Let's say that it was back in the day when your daughter was trying to figure out where she wanted to get married, and she was considering 2 different places. Maybe she wanted to see how a wedding was done or how it was handled at a certain location. So she would buy a ticket so that she could just go in and see it. I don't know.
That'd be interesting. That makes way more sense than ChatGPT, because women go to great lengths for their wedding.
Yeah.
And so that actually is the best explanation yet. Let me throw this one out. So I had seen a story the other day, and there was a couple that was selling tickets to their wedding with tiers to it. So if you wanted to sit at this back table and just be there for the wedding and the rehearse or the reception, it was, $150 or whatever per person. So $300. And then if you wanted to sit in a better place at the reception, come to the rehearsal dinner and have something else. It was almost like a GoFundMe. You got tiers, and it was like $800 a person and stuff like that. Like, who thinks that highly of themselves, like that you're going to sell, that you should just be grateful that anyone shows up, and if they show up and they give you a gift, just be thankful.
Well, and also, too, I think priorities are out of whack when you have a wedding that you cannot afford, to the point where you're asking your guests to help you fund it.
Change the wedding plan.
Why are you having that big of a wedding in the first place?
Yeah.
Who are you trying to impress?
Yeah, and don't go into debt for your wedding, man. Oh my gosh. Like, it's the money you would spend on your wedding, go on a great honeymoon instead. Create memories that way. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, there's no sense. And to, again, have other people fund it. That's the thing about some GoFundMes that drive me nuts. I like the ones that are meeting a need for someone that can't meet a need for themselves. Absolutely. But when you see people go, it's my GoFundMe for my honeymoon, and they have it on their car, I would never do that.
I saw one recently. There's a kid in my subdivision that she is a senior, and it said something written on the back of her windshield, something like, going back to school for my senior year, buy me a coffee.
Yeah.
And then it had her Venmo on it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that works or not, but it's interesting.
Not.
I know that there are people, because I have friends that are like, oh, it was kitschy, so I did it, kind of thing. And if enough people see that, they're like, oh, yeah, they make a little bit of money on it. I just, that kind of stuff, to fund things that you should be funding yourself, drive me nuts. It's everyone else's job to fund your wedding or what have you. Just.
Do you mean back to the windshield thing, or just the
just
wedding?
in general? Yeah, like the tickets, or
because they're giving you a choice, though. They're not saying you have to pay this, because if you don't, then they're stuck with the debt.
Right.
So you saying you have to? They're not saying you have to. It's just an option.
What, to do the Venmo?
It's not that they can't do the wedding if people don't buy tickets.
Right.
If that's what you were doing, whoa.
Yeah.
Right. So see, you having an opinion, I can't stand what people do, but I don't feel like they're really they're making you do it. I feel like they're giving you a choice, and they can't be mad if you say no.
But it's still irritating that they're. I think there's a smidge of entitlement to asking, because you do secretly hope that somebody buys a ticket and helps pay for the wedding, versus committing to it's like committing to the funds you have and not going over that.
Yeah, and working within that. It's not
with
everybody
no
else.
Expectations.
It's not everybody else's job to give you your perfect day. It's just not.
And you're saying they aren't expecting it.
It's not. What are you gonna say? As a dad, it's different. But I didn't call my buddy and be like, Greg, Haley's wedding's going to cost more than I thought. Can you chip in? No.
Or doing a GoFundMe for
or going to all my friends and going, look, hey, the wedding's going to be more expensive than we thought. Would you guys, instead of getting a gift, would you guys do money for them? Here's their Venmo. I would never in a million years do that. Yeah, because my wedding, if my wedding cost $2,000, I would be dumbfounded. Like it was nothing, man. And it was a great day, you know, and it was enough, you know.
Black balloons and streamers and
really,
everything.
yeah, you've seen the pictures.
It's rough.
Yeah. And at the time, we thought we were so fancy. It's black tie. You know? So good. Do you got any birthdays?
I do. Today, Katie Mel is celebrating a birthday.
Yeah, Katie Mel.
Happy.
37, I think.
It is. She called earlier.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Happy birthday, Katie
Well,
Mel.
happy birthday. We do have a question, and it is from Megan. This one is, and I think that this is perfect timing, because we were talking about your daughter, Haley, and how her wedding turned out perfect, and you know, you were a loving father, wrote her a song for your dance, and then you even paid for the 13th swan that she needed.
Needed it.
The ice sculpture,
Yes.
the painter,
Yes,
all
the castle.
things.
Yes.
But Megan, she asked, does Hypothetical Hayden ever find love other than his hermit crabs?
No.
What do we think about
I
this?
like that people have tried to set Betty up with Hypothetical Hayden.
I have better luck getting married to Hypothetical Hayden than I do to the reality of anyone else.
Can you imagine if she brought home a Hayden to Danny Ray? Oh, my glory. Like, I would love to be a fly on the wall and see that one.
My dad would be like, you're telling me this is the son of that man that came out there when I was working on your car in the rain, and he had a flower shirt on and offered me an umbrella.
Yeah. He'd be like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I raised you better than that.
I'm watching a show called Plathville, Welcome to Plathville, and it's on TLC. It's like this family drama thing. And so and it's like they had like 12 kids, whatever, and they were super religious, and now the family's just come undone, which is actually really sad.
Ooh.
It's really sad. The mom has lost her mind, got divorced. Like, it's like everything
What religion were they?
They never really said.
Feels Mormon-y to me.
No, it wasn't. It was more
Okay.
like non-denominational, charismatic, maybe, because they had a family band and everything. It was everything. All the stereotypes that are wrong with this are there. And like, so then the mom got like super selfish and like it just blames the dad for everything. The dad's a weirdo. But then when they got divorced, or they're still trying to get divorced 3 years later, he got jacked. This guy went to the gym with his oldest son and got jacked.
He found another woman.
No, he didn't. He found out how to work through his pain, was going to the gym. And so I'm like, outside of his like crazy bald head, he got ripped.
I'm gonna look him up.
Yeah, welcome to Plathville. The reason I brought it up is Lydia was one of the super religious sweet daughters. Like, she didn't go crazy. One of the other daughters went nuts and ran away and came back into her faith and everything. But Lydia was always this steadfast one. But they always make Lydia, like, they have her singing songs, and she's horrible.
Oh my gosh, Gavin, look.
What
That's
is
a
it?
before and an after.
Are you looking at
well done.
at the dad?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so,
Wow.
what's the dad's
job.
name? I forgot.
Barry.
Barry, that's right. And so, like, now,
Wow.
and Ethan, the oldest son, got married and then divorced. And so, like, his wife hated the family and tried to put a rift between them. And he's finally come back to the family. All of that to say. So, Lydia, the really, like, religious one, finds this guy. And this guy is, I don't know how to explain him. If you knew Jake that we work with, you'd be like, oh, I get it. Like, not a man's man per se. The guy's very comfortable in who he is, but he doesn't have to be macho. He doesn't have to be, rough and tumble.
Shout out to you for not using me as that example.
Yeah. You're fine.
Thank you.
You're great. And so, but like, he's very sensitive, and and he's goofy with her, which like they fit, But like Ethan comes back, and Ethan is like, I don't like him, and it's just because he's not like him, and he's more emotional and things like that. He's like, I went to shake his hand, he tried to hug me.
So how does this tie into hypothetical Hayden?
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember how I got there, to be honest with you. So, this kid shows up in their lives, and they are all like not a fan of this kid, but he actually works with, like, he's good for Lydia, but they can't accept him. And that's how Hypothetical Hayden would be going to Danny Ray. Like, he would be good for Betty.
We found it.
Yeah, but Danny Ray would not accept him.
Okay, but let's say that hypothetical Hayden does find the love of his life. What does she look like? How do you envision? Because did hypothetical Hayden get rid of his blue hair for the wedding?
Did he outkick his coverage and all of a sudden he's married to a supermodel and everyone's like, what? Shit, what happened? It's like that. It's like that. The sketch on TikTok with Chit, CHIT, Chit. I feel like I've got to explain that.
Well, you do. You need to.
Yeah, say that right. But yeah, like it's like where they have the backstory of him. He's that nerdy guy. Yeah. Do it,
I
lady.
picture Hayden as James Chapesky.
Oh, our Canadian
TikTok.
music friend that we like. Yeah.
I pictured that as your son.
Yeah, I could see that.
And those girls like Nicole and whoever that
Yeah.
dance around in fairies costumes and stuff. I could see hypothetical Hayden.
Yeah, I could
going
see,
to the Renaissance fairs.
he'd marry a nerdy girl. I think. Yeah, I think. I don't think he'd be able to outkick his coverage.
Would he be really into Disney? Would he also be a Disney fanatic?
That would make him a mama's boy.
Is he a mama's boy?
Yeah, probably so. Yeah. Because my wife is always on me. Just love him.
Now let's say that hypothetical Hayden is getting hypothetically married to this girl.
It's a lot of hypothetical.
But she's on the poorer end, okay? Her parents don't have a savings account.
Why are you poor?
All of this stuff. Yeah, why are you poor? So they ask, hey, do you mind kicking in a couple of bucks here to make this wedding magical? They want a fairy ivy entry point and all that stuff. Would you mind kicking in a couple of dollars?
I'm going to be like, I'm not even going to be there. So it's going to be weird if I do this.
I'm not even going to. What if he wants you to come and be his best man? He's trying to win the relationship back, okay?
Yeah.
The only problem
but you need to
is
wear a crab
costume. For me
The
to be
only
your best man, we
problem-
have to make you a man first.
the only problem is that all the bridesmaids are going to be dressed as fairies.
Oh, gosh.
And the men will have to wear the fairy
Oh,
ears.
Like
no, you
elf
get elf
ears?
ears.
Oh, yeah.
Now, will
so
you,
out.
Wear like a
it is
robe.
your only son,
Yeah,
Wally.
so out on that one.
I'll supplant. I'll be
Will
there
you be,
for
will you
him.
be my consigliere?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What if
He's proud of
Haley, your daughter, had
Yeah.
asked you to wear elf or fairy
man.
ears?
Baby girl, I think this fits wonderfully inside of your castle theme, and I would be honored to do this.
Can I
Let's
be a
go.
knight?
Yeah, let's go, girl. This will be fun.
Wear the leggings.
Yeah, this will be fun.
These
Peter
are
Pan,
tight.
you want me to fly in? I got you.
So then Hayden's like, Dad, do you mind if wearing these elf ears?
Who this? I do like your Hayden imitation. We haven't really done that
Yeah, I
before.
was gonna say,
so.
what was that?
Dad. I don't know. I picture him talking
He's a
like
little
Napoleon
bit.
Dynamite.
There you go. Yeah.
That's a pretty good imitation.
Tina, you fat lard.
All right, I think that's going to have to do it for our Aftercast for today. And as always, thanks for being a potty.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.